Shut up. Hey, good morning. 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg, Mester Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And this is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. And we talk about Scrum and Agile and playing with the camera in a practical and tactical way. And there is a bubble cat stalking me at this moment. And I don't know, is she going to get me or not? Are you going to get me? No, she's doing her own thing. She's happy that there's no dogs in the office. Anyway, kind of meandering there. This is our 627th episode, and today I want to talk about not letting your PO look bad. I just want to talk about 3 things that you can do. Maybe you're already doing. Let me know if you're already doing them to help your PO from looking bad and getting frustrated, and your team frustrated, right? Because when your PO looks bad, your product owner, the rest of the team loses faith in what's going on. So you don't want that to happen as a Scrum Master or an Agile Coach. So that 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg, Mester Scrum Master and Agile Coach. And it's our 627th episode. And by the way, at 2 o'clock in the morning, we had a fire across the street, and there was a hook and ladder truck right outside my window. So yeah, I was going to get up at 5 a.m. this morning. And it's funny, the kids slept right through it. I'm like, there's a hook and ladder truck right outside your window, but you sleep through it. Amazing. It's amazing what kids do. And why do we do this show? It's not to talk about fire engines. I do have a fire engine around here somewhere. Let's talk about Scrum and Agile in a practical and tactical way to help your teams out, help you out, bring value to the customer, not work crazy hours, and have a little fun. Yesterday was a great day for baseball. My kids, softball for my daughter. Both got on base, hit the ball. It was funny. We always do these retrospectives and stuff. So my daughter got on twice. She hit 2 good balls. She got an RBI, came home twice. She fielded the ball. I'm like, what? I look at her and go, what was into you today that I don't know. It just hit the ball. It's like, yeah, some days you have good days and some days have bad days, but just enjoy it, right? So, not letting your PO look bad. So I want to talk about 3 things that you can do to not to help your PO look good, right? One about how you work with the product owner. And the way I suggest is I call it one of my secret ceremonies is a prioritization session. I guess you could have 4 things. Maybe I should operate 4. There's 4 things you could do. You could probably do more, But the first thing is a prioritization session. I call it one of my secret ceremonies. I have like 2. I have the prioritization ceremony, and though the Scrum Guide now talks about it more, you have product backlog refinement sessions. I don't know why they just don't bother calling a ceremony, because you probably have more than one, so maybe that's why they didn't do it. But yeah, backlog refinement and what I call prioritization. And while you do the prioritization, you sit with the product owner and just make sure that their backlog past the current sprint, or even in the current sprint too. Sometimes I look at the current sprint and make sure we got the right priorities, like halfway through the sprint, make sure we're doing the right work based on what's getting done, and have them prioritize work. Because there's nothing worse than having your product owner show up to a sprint planning session and not knowing what stories they want to do first. You want them to look prepared. You want to look like they mastered the work that they want to do. They know what they want to do, and they are confident in what they want to do, right? So by doing this prioritization session, your product owner looks good and looks like they know what the hell they're doing in front of the team, which helps. The second item that's kind of obvious, but doesn't always happen. Close the sprint early. Well, not actually physically close the sprint, but get everything off the board a day or so earlier on the sprint, because that allows 2 things. One, it lets the product owner know that you don't have to worry about anything in the previous sprint to go pouring into the new sprint. 2, it helps satisfy what the velocity of the team is, so the product owner doesn't look like a jerk for bringing more. And jerk could be a guy or girl, by the way. It's general neutral, just jerk. Call a woman a jerk just as much as a guy. Be a jerk and say, why are you giving us all those points? We never did this philosophy before, right? So by closing it early, knowing how many points the team can get, like a day early, not the last minute, right? You know what the velocity is, so the product owner can get that sprint backlog that he or she's going to bring to sprint planning to be at a good level, right? So that's item 2. So item 1, do a prioritization with the product owner so they know what they want. 2, close the sprint early. 3, if you can't close the sprint early, have an honest discussion. This is the Scrum Master job. Have an honest discussion with the team and say, okay, what stories are we not going to close this sprint? Don't give me this, we'll get it done tomorrow. I'll push it in. We'll get it. Seriously, which ones are we going to get done? Which ones are not? Which ones really don't look like it? And work with the product and go ahead and move them to the next sprint. Just bite it. Say, we're not going to get it done. Say, product owner, do we want to move these to the next sprint? Do you want to put them backlog? What would you like to do? But we're not going to get it done. But let them know a day ahead of time what's going on. So that's the third one. So the first one, prioritization. Second, close the sprint up early. Get all the stuff done. Third, if you can't get it done, identify the ones that aren't going to make it and let the product owner know so they can adapt it in the next sprint. Okay. And then the fourth one I'll give that I just wrote down from this conversation would be having definite agreements. Definition ready. Anybody likes to know what kind of information they would be asked for from their clients. And their client in this case is the team. Having a definition ready will help prepare and make the product owner feel like they did their job appropriately. They got enough information to satisfy the team. So if you don't have a definition ready, an agreement between the product owner and the team, what makes ready, you're not making your product owner look good, right? Because they say, well, I don't know what you all want. Because you didn't do a definition ready yet. And that's your job as Scrum Master, make sure they have a definition ready. Period. That's on you. That's not on the team. Your job is to make sure they have the stuff in place to be able to work together. And if you don't have a definition ready right now, shame on you. Should be like the first thing you do when you engage with the team. Do you have one? If you don't have one, let's put one together, because I want to make sure the conversation between the Scrum team and the product owner are in sync. And the last, part of those agreements, also definition done. You could say that would be the fifth one, so that everybody knows when it's done, it's work. So this way, that would probably be the good fifth one. So if you really wanted to do a rule, 5 rules, fifth one would be definition of done. And in the definition of done, this way, when the product owner tells the rest of the business, oh, we got this capability, it really is done, right? There's nothing worse than going out in front of people with stakeholders and say, oh, we did all this, but you're not getting it for 6 months. What do you mean not getting it for 6 months? You just told me it was done. Why am I not getting it? So you got to have a whole conversation, right? So there's 5 things. We'll go with the 5. There is another level that goes from a sprint review perspective. So I'll save for that for another day. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. So 5 things that you can do to help your product owner from not looking bad. 1, do a prioritization session so the product owner knows what needs to be in before you go sprint planning. 2, clean off your board in the sprint so that it's clean, so the product owner knows what's done. You can adjust your average velocity. You can report out to your product owner how many points the team normally gets, so they can negotiate during sprint planning. Is it higher or lower based on people being there, how comfortable they feel with work, so on. 4th one was a definition ready. That way the product owner doesn't feel like they don't know what the team needs. And that's a terrible feeling to have, by the way. And if you don't have one by now, shame on you. 5th one. 5th, right? 5th, yeah. Oh, yeah. I said, yeah. No, the 4th one. Hold on. I'm out of order. First one is priority session. Second one is get the board cleared off, right? Third one is if there's anything that's not going to get done, have an honest conversation with team and decide which ones should move to the new sprint earlier than later. And don't give me this, I'll get it done in the last minute. Crud, that's bull. Fourth one is a definition ready. And the fifth one is definition done. So those 5 things that you can do to help making your product owner look good in front of your team and feel good. So that's what we're doing for today's show. Please give us a thumbs up if you like the show. Thumbs up. Ring the little bell. Share if you like. Share it to a lot of people. We're doing pretty good in the podcast. It's nice seeing the podcast get shared around. And have a good weekend. Enjoy. Hopefully you won't have a fire engine trying to wake you up at 2 o'clock in the morning. And then you decide you want to get up for a 5 a.m. show and walk the dogs and all that. Yeah, it doesn't work. So have fun. Enjoy your rest of your weekend. Bye. And see ya.